Ultimate. That's our software created by Geomax. And it works with all the instruments, and you can work on many different projects with this software. I'm going to introduce and talk about that a little bit today. If you guys have any questions, I think there's a chat box. You can send me some questions if you need to. I'll try to get to those later if I can. So just let me know as we continue. So for the introduction, we have a full portfolio. We have many instruments at Geomax. We have GNSS receivers, total stations, robotic, as well as manual. We have rotating lasers, levels, locators, and we have our own software with tablets and field controllers available. So to start out with the XPAD, we have field software. We also have office software. So I just want to touch on those a little bit today. For the XPAD Ultimate, it's available in Android and also Windows version. Our Ultimate Android, that's available on any Android device, tablet, phone, whatever you may have. And Geomax also has tablets available for you. The XPAD 3.5 survey, that's what we install on board the total stations. So you can activate and use the XPAD survey right from the instrument itself. If you're using no controller, you can use that, or you can use a controller if you'd like, either way. Also the XPAD build, that's a software we have that's specific for the construction market, and that's available also on the Android device, as well as being able to import that onto the total stations so that you can use on board. Also, that's the software that works with our locators as well. So the next one is the next part of the XPAD suite works with, we have an instrument called the Zoom 3D. Now that instrument has two different softwares. If you're using a Windows-based controller, then that software is called the XPAD 3D. If you have a Android device you'd like to use, then we have software called the XPAD Master Plan, and that's what operates at Zoom 3D. Also, we have our XPAD Office Fusion. That's our office software. It's very powerful. It's able to incorporate all of the instrument information. You can import information from your total stations, also your GPS receivers. Also, it works well with, you're able to import information from a 3D scanner. And also you can import pictures for the photogrammetry module we have, and also we have a drone module. So that's a great software where it incorporates all your information. You can put it onto the same coordinate system, whatever that may be, or you can translate, you can manipulate the information as well. So from field to office, we have you covered. Always contact your dealer if you have more information. They can help you with all the information you need from our products. So also, we're going to give you 8 reasons to choose XPAD. All of the instruments in the Geomax line, whether it's GNSS receivers, total stations, can interact with our XPAD Ultimate software. So we have GNSS connecting. We also have the Zenith 35 Pro, which has the tilt and go tag option. We also have what we call the X-Pole. It incorporates the total station, able to take measurements with the instrument using a prism. And then you have a GPS or a GNSS receiver on top of that, and you're able to receive and take measurements with the GNSS receiver or with the total station. So if you're in the field, you're using total station, of course, a big truck's going to block your view. You're not able to take a shot. You can just switch over to the GNSS receiver, take a measurement there, and vice versa, back and forth, however you like. So that's a great option. Also, of course, the total stations, we're able to have the onboard software for that. And also it's able to use with the disto measurement and as well as the locators. So it controls all of the instruments, a full line many options for you with the XPad Ultimate. Now it is, I think I mentioned briefly, an Android platform. So Android device you may have, you can install the XPad Ultimate. Also, we have our own tablets that you can purchase from Geomax. Very powerful, and also you can use those. So either whatever you're using, it's a very powerful platform. Android. Geomax is the first survey field software to incorporate onto the Android platform, and it has many reasons why it works really great. We're going to cover some of those as we go. Also with the XPad, it has a really modern interface. You have different screens. Of course, the XPad Ultimate software is always 3D viewable, and that's a nice way to do your field work. You can see it in the 2D, or you can go to a 3D screen, and it makes it seem like you're right there, which you actually are. So the first screen you see there is the CAD, and it also has some tools that you can use once you're inside that CAD screen. If you go over to the right, you see the TPS survey screen, and so they're in the 3D mode there. You can see the total station set up onto the tripod. So it has some great graphics, very powerful software. If you're using GNSS and you're using a surface stakeout, which you see on the bottom left, you can see your rod as well as your GNSS receiver. So it's got some great 3D graphics. If you're doing a stakeout, it has some great graphics there to help you get close to where you need to be. Shows you how far away, along with the graphic display, along with the numbers. Gives you all the information you need. Also, since it's an Android device, it works really well with the online maps. So you can select the different maps you'd like to use, whether it's Google or Bing, or has other options available. Just like the maps on your phone, you can switch it between satellite mode or go into city mode with all the street names, or you can go into the view you have there on the front of in the picture there. So also, you can, when you're going into stakeout, it's good you can see it on the maps because you know you're at the right location, you know you're at the right point you're looking for. It's right there on the map. You already know where it's supposed to be. So that helps you out in the field, makes everything go a little quicker to maximize your time. Once you get into the stakeout mode, you can go into the 3D screen there and see all the information you need to make that stakeout. The other reason you might want to choose XPad, we have some, it's really powerful. We have some very powerful, user-friendly field drawing tools. We can create a point, we can create a line, arc, spline, circles, squares, many different things in the field. The good thing about the XPad is when you create these lines in the field, you can just directly export those right into your Office software. Points, lines, everything goes with it. So when you create the lines in the field, you can export those to the Office. There's no need to connect the dots when you get back. It saves you a lot of time. Also, what we have is integrated CAD function. We have some great graphics, 2D as well as 3D. Once you're in the CAD mode, you can edit it. You can draw, you can manipulate the drawing, you can do many different things. Also, it has a layer manager. You can turn them off, turn them on, change layers, colors, whatever you'd like to do. And that's a great function to have right there in your field software. Also, the XPad has many different options, modules available for different functions you'd like to do in the field. So as you see on the first little picture there, it's displaying the auto measurement capabilities. You can see the control point, station setup, auto measure, single measure. But if you look back to the left, you got stakeout, you got a COGO mode, you have surfaces, roads, many different options to do your field work and calculations right there in the field. To the right there, you have a road stakeout, which you can go ahead and create some offsets, create those right there in the field, and actually go to the stakeout menu and stake out those. Gives you all the information you need, directions. You can manipulate the map to show different modes. Also, we have one for surface and volumes. You can create the surface, create two different surfaces. You can get the the volumes between the two surfaces. And many ways to do it. You can create surface in the field, or you can import those. You can get some volumes on your stockpile or your pit. Has some great graphics, gives you the cuts and fills, and then also it generates a report right from the field software. So XPAD with the Android and all the options is a great field software to help to maximize your time. Also, there's many ways. Of course, you can upload and import and export your information right from your computer if you're in the office. But if you have your field controller in the field and you want to exchange and transfer some data, you can do that with the integrated cloud. As you see there, you can use Dropbox, Google Drive. You also have the ability to share the file. You can share with Bluetooth. You can use your Gmail, Samsung Cloud, Skype, just whatever you have connected there. Many ways to transport the data. Now, what I'd like to do now, I'm going to connect my tablet and go over the software and kind of show you how it works. We're going to do an overview today. If you join us for the next webinars coming up the next few weeks, we're going to be demonstrating in detail some more information about the XPAD and the capabilities, what it has to offer. And so we're going to cover many more of the CAD functions as well as the smart drawing tools next week and a week after. So please join us for the other webinars. But right now I'm going to try and connect, and I'll give you an overview and show you how it works. So here you can see my tablet. I think you can see it now. And it's just an Android tablet. So when you download the software, it's just going to be just like an app. You can see the icon there on the left. So I'm going to click on the app, and there it opens up. This is what it looks like. When you're in your job, you can create new jobs. You have a coordinate system, import, export, lots of different information. So what we're going to do here first is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the new open job button. And here you have many ways to view your past jobs you have in there. As you see, I'm going to scroll through here and I can see the different jobs I've created. As you can see, we have some great graphics for the different jobs in the past. So you can view them this way. Also, if you look up on you'll see Houston on there. That's the project I'm working in, the city I'm working in. So if I click right on that, it takes me to these other sites that I'm in. You can create these or add these. These can be project names of shopping malls or whatever your project may be. Or if you travel, you can use the city. You can save all the default settings for your coordinate systems right here. You can see it. So that's the list mode there. So this is the gallery. This is the list view. Or you can go into the calendar, the map view, and you can see where it's located on the map. Also, we have a calendar view, so if you know what date it was created, then you can actually find it through the calendar. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we'll create a new job. So you can name it whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. We'll just call it web. And there's many things you can do there. As you see, we're going to talk about more of those options later. So we're going to accept that. And now we've opened up the job. So once we do that, you can look at your coordinate system, make sure you have the correct one set up for your location. If you go in here, we have a cartographic system. Click on that, it gives you all the information. Of course, that's available around the world. You can change those. So we're just going to accept that one. And you also have your GNSS localization. From there, you have the ability, if I select next, I have the ability to select a geoid as well. We have the geoid 12B as well as the geoid 2018 available. So that's how you make sure you got all your jobs set up correctly. Now, if we go into survey, here's what the survey screens. You have some options. You have static survey, survey points, photographic surveys, auto survey, and bathymetric survey. So many different options. And as you see at the top, you see job on the left. You see survey, which is underlined. Now, if I slide that over, I can scroll between the different options I have, different modules I have available for the XPAD. depending on what project you want to use, you have many options. Of course, you have Stakeout, Kogo. So from now, we're going to go into survey points. So from here, I have a simulator hooked up because I'm inside, and I'm going to do some demonstrations for you. So as you see, the triangle identifies my location, and it's a very large screen to view when you're doing your work. So that's one great option with the XPad. If I click over to the right, right here on this part, then you can see that all my satellite information comes up. It gives you the quality, tells you about all your DOPS, your position. I can click on the different options above to view what I'd like to see. You have your skyplot view, of course, your satellite information, base and map. So all of that's just right there. Nice click. As you see, the buttons are very wide, very easy to hit. So that's a great option, very user-friendly. If you look on the left, I can select between, I can always change the instrument height if I like, or depending on what I want to measure, I can go from point. This is our smart drawing tools. We can create a line or arc, different objects, whatever we like. At the bottom, you'll see our point. We got a code. If you click on code, these are our defaults that are included into the software. You can select one of those if you like, or if you just want to punch in one, if you just want to, in the box, if you just want to type in whatever code you'd like, it will automatically add that to the list. To import a code list as well. So if you want to do some measurements, we can, at the bottom, we can go ahead and hit measure. Now, if I just hit measure, I didn't hit measure and store, I just hit measure. Then it gives you some information about the point. If I click on sketch, I'm able to draw something, or I can hit the camera icon actually, and I can just take a picture, and that'll be associated right there with my measurement. Also, I can put an arrow right over there. I can spin it around and identify something if I want. Maybe you're shooting a monument you want to take a picture of, and then you can see the picture and you can see where it's going, so I can accept that. And that's going to go along with my point. Otherwise, we're just going to take a couple measurements. We're using line 1. This was set up prior. I don't need that, so I'm just going to go back to point. I'm going to select, I want to create some lines. So I want to take a measurement, take another measurement, take a couple of them. And as you can see, it's creating the line work as we go. Also, if I want to create an arc, I can do that as well. Take some measurements, creating some arcs. It's creating the first point as arc 1, and then it's asking for arc 2 and then arc 3. Since we're using a simulator, there we got a little bit of an arc, okay. We can also create some different, we have splines, we have circles, we can create a square as we're moving. It's asking me score 2, I'll take a point there. As you see over to the left, it's asking you square corner number 2. I'm going to measure that. So now it drew the square for me. Then I can go back to line. I can make some more lines if I like, whatever I want to do. Also, if you double click right on the screen, it takes you directly to the CAD screen where you have some more ability to create some lines, do some more work. What you can do is you can, if you click on draw, you have many options available. I can create some lines here, points, circles, whatever. If I click on line, I could probably just create one right here. I could click on that, click on the next one, and there I have a line. If I want to get, it shows you what kind of line I created. If you want to draw, you have a layout function here, which is really helpful if you're doing field work. I'll just touch on it briefly and show you more about that later. You can just click on the point you want to go from. You can select the distance right here, 20 feet, whatever. And then you have the ability to move that. It's set up for 90-degree increments, or I can change it here. I can make that 45. Then I can change it some more. or you can type in a bearing, whatever you like, to create some more points. So you can just kind of do whatever you want. You want to change that to 90. You can add a point, go this way, another 90, back over, and then you can create some more points just like that. Okay, so very nice, easy to work with software. Also, you have many other functions to use. If you go into edit, you want to edit something, you could do, let's say, offset. And let's say that's a polyline. Wait a minute, we don't want to do that. So let's go back into edit. We're going to explode. I'm going to explode that. And now I should be able to go in there and do an offset. If I select that, it's just selecting one line. As you see, it's not selecting the entire polyline. If I want to join those again, I can go to join. If I just want the square, and then now those are joined up now. As you see, it's just one polyline, but I want to actually do a offset for you. I'm going to select that line. Let's say, let's make it 5 feet. Okay. And then now it's putting it on both sides. It's asking me, which way do I want to go? Do I want the offset on the left? Do I want it on the right? So I can select which way I want it. Let's go there. It's asking me, do I want to repeat the lines? If you're in a parking lot, you're actually doing some stripes or something, you can repeat that a few times, say maybe 5 or whatever. And then you can just say click, and then it's added the lines. Also, you have the ability to, if you want to do a divide, you can go ahead and click on a line. You can separate that in as many points as you like. Let's say 4. And then it starts with the point numbers, it assigns the points and creates those points right on the line. So from there, of course, when you're in the CAD, if you want to do a stakeout, you're able to do that. You click on the points you like. You got a stakeout. Takes you right to the stakeout screen. You have many options from here to view it. I'll go through a couple of those. You can view it like that. You can view it the entire screen, or you can split it. Now over here also you have the ability 2D. Let's click on 3D. We're going to zoom it in here, and then you can display it that way. Nice view in 3D. Also, we have the ability to go to the maps. You can set that right over top of whatever map you choose. You have many options. If you want to do a hybrid, you can choose that. And then there's our map there. So that's a great way to do it. We're doing some work on the airport today with the simulator. Okay, so you have many options there. To the left, it has some measurements, all your measurement info, how far away. You have your direction dial, and then you can, of course, change that however you like. Okay, so then if we want to get out back to the CAD screen, we click on the X, and it takes us back to where we can do some more measurements. We can click the arrow over, it takes us back to the stakeout screen. Now from here, we can stake out points. You can do it from the table list or however you like it. You can go from CAD. Of course, you can select one, and you're back to the stakeout screen from there. So also, if you want to do something like, let's say, station and offset, you have the ability to select 2 points. You can go next. You can change the interval. Let's say we'll make that 15. Then you can, let's change the offset to maybe 12 feet, or actually 12. Okay. And then that's too much. Let's change that back to about 4. Okay. So from there, what we can do, as you scroll through, you can stake out all of these different points as you go. So you have many different options right here. So that's a great feature there. Also, if we go into COGO, you can use the distances, which is the inverse mode. And also from here, you can measure a reference point. Let's say you're on a construction site and you want to take a reference point just to see what your surface elevation is. You can take a measurement with the first reference point, and then every measurement you take after that, it will reference back to that same point, so you can check out the grade or whatever you're doing. So it's going to take a measurement here on the first one, and then after that, I'm going to go forward, and it's going to give me the difference between the first point and my coordinate where I'm located now as the simulator moves. So that's a great feature. It does that live. So we have many different tools we can use. Also, you can go. You have alignment. You have area and length. Check planes, intersection. You can move, rotate, and scale. Also, you can go on over to surface. You have the ability to have surfaces, volumes, and we're going to talk about many more of these different functions coming up in the next webinars, and we'll explain how some of these work a little bit more in detail. Also, in the beginning, when you import your data, we have many options for the formats. So you can use DXF, ASCII, whatever it may be. If you've downloaded or if you've transferred the information to your tablet in the office, it would be here. If not, you can use the cloud. We have Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive. You can use that to import your data. Also, if you want to, when you go to export, you can export your data, many different formats. If you want to go to ASCII or just whatever it may be, you can accept your points, everything's good. If you want to use a device in the cloud, you say accept, you have the ability to send it to the cloud. Or if you accept share file, then you can go and you have some more options with the Bluetooth and emails and some different other options. So very powerful software right there in the field, calculations, 3D atmosphere, 3D environment. So this is the XPad, and here's just I'll show you this one. We're going to talk about this one real quick in the future, but I just wanted to show you the graphics here. That very powerful software, very responsive. You can zoom in, zoom out. Just great software. So I'll be showing you some more about this later on. And now let me see if anyone had any questions. We're getting ready to finish up here. Let me see. I didn't see any questions today. It's pretty straightforward. So in the future, you may have questions, but that's okay for today. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We're going to talk more in depth about the many different options for XPad. We're going to talk about more information about the hardware, the instruments, everything that we have available. And so please join us every week, starting this week, every Thursday, same time. So thank you again for joining us, and hope everyone has a great day. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.